What's going on, family? Welcome back to the table. And I call these quick 15-minute videos, I call them nuggets, like table scraps, because I believe that as we are growing our wealth and as we are eliminating our debt and as we are really building and changing the family tree, one thing that I know is that income flows two different ways. It flows in as far as income's into us, then it flows out as far as in expenses, bills, and etc. And if we're really going to eliminate debt, if we're going to build wealth, if we're going to invest, right, then we got to have some more income coming in because I could teach you how to build debt. I could teach you how to invest, right? But if I don't help you get more income coming in, whew, it's going to be hard to do all that. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to do a show called Get Paid $6,500 a month, working 30 hours a week with no experience, but you still got to get the education. That video, that show went crazy. And inside of that show, we talked about the amazing partnership that I have with Yellowtail Tech, where they're teaching you the skills and giving you the education needed to get into the tech industry and really make some real good money at it. After talking with Yellowtail Tech, they was like, hey man, we feel as if we could answer some more questions because we got a lot of great leads, but we also got a lot of questions that we think we should answer up front for people. So I invited them on to the show to give us a quick 12-minute update on how things are going, what you should know about. And just for that, we're going to bring on the co-founder himself, Juby. What's going on, my brother?
I'm well, man. Thank you for having me. It's a good day. Let's do it.
Oh man. Let's do it, man. Well, here, again, I want to thank you up front for partnering with us here at the table because we've sent a lot of people your way, and some people are inside of your program and are loving what they're learning. So thank you so much for really being a man of integrity and a business of integrity and character, and really helping people get the education to be an effective and prominent person inside of the tech industry. But after we launched this video, man, your team was getting us up saying, man, that the leads are coming in like crazy. Thank you so much, Anthony. But there were some questions that you were getting. So I really want to just lead this up to you. I know that you said, Anthony, I really want to bring a little bit more clarity around the Linux area. Well, why do you want to focus on Linux? What are you seeing in that industry right now?
So what I'm seeing is, especially for people with absolutely no IT background, which is most of the leads we're getting, it's a better proposition for them to start with Linux. Linux is more of the foundation. Yeah, cloud computing, AWS, we hear these words, these buzzwords all around, but it's always best to start with the foundation. And the foundation of AWS is Linux. So it's the natural first step before going into cloud. Yeah, it's not as sexy, but it's definitely the best way to start your career if you are going into Linux and cloud eventually. So this is one thing I think it's very important to convey. Yes, it's we have a Cloud for Jobs program, but it's intended for a slightly more sophisticated learner who has a stronger background when it comes to IT. If you come and you're transitioning, you're done with your job, and you are trying to transition into tech, Linux is the best way to start. So that's what we've been seeing, you know. And the other questions we usually ask is, okay, you say you don't need any background in IT. Is it really true? Is it really for me? And the question is yes. The quick answer, the quick answer is yes. And the reason why I say that it's because we've been doing this for 10 years. We cater specifically to people with no IT background. But that being said, you need to have the basic computer literacy skills, which we test. We help you find that out. But definitely, it is for people with absolutely no IT background. And they usually also ask, what does it usually take? And that's a very tricky question to answer. But I always try to answer it with the most candor as possible because it's their life. It's a lot of time and money put into these programs, and I want to make sure they understand that it takes work. It takes work. It takes commitment, and it takes some genuine effort into transitioning. Because after all, Yellowtail Tech, we are in the business of training. We are
Yeah,
not in the business of miracles. That
yeah,
means I can only help you to the extent that you are willing to help yourself. If that
yeah.
is clear, we are golden. We're gonna take you from not knowing anything about IT to being a full-blown professional, being able to deliver in a marketplace that's competitive. But it has to go both ways. You have to show up with the drive, because like a colleague of mine usually say, you have two choices. It's either you show up with excuses, or you show up with actual resolution to make this work. So that's why we see that usually separates the people who actually succeed in this, and the people who don't. You know.
Jimmy, let me ask you this question, because that is one question that we do get oftentimes.
Yeah.
Is
Probably
I
the
think
most
people,
probably the most common question. You know.
most common question,
Yep.
right? And I think I want to live there a little bit, because I think there are people, when they hear the word tech and when they hear the word Linux, it sounds so like that's a big word. I don't understand, Linux. What? I've never even heard the common person say Linux. And when I hear tech, I'm hearing computer gadgets and
Mm-hmm.
coding, and they get so confused. And so I want to ask you a direct, straightforward question. I am 40 years old. I watch Anthony O'Neill. I have been doing customer service for the last 20 years. I've been a school teacher for the last 25 years. I have a bachelor's degree in business
Mm-hmm.
education, right? So I have the basic average job out here. Can Yellowtail Tech take me from being a school teacher with zero tech information, understanding, and get me ready to get into the Linux tech field?
The short and straightforward answer is yes, yes, and yes, because we cater to you, the avatar you're painting, who is
Yes.
the teacher. We catering to that avatar specifically. If you go on our website, we only cater to people with no IT background, because it's two different things. Teaching someone with tech knowledge and teaching someone from scratch are two different ways of teaching, two different pace, two different mindset. So we understand what it takes to actually help someone transition. So the answer is yes, but there's a caveat to it. With what mindset do you show up to our doors? Do you show up to our doors with a mindset of Yellowtail is gonna hand you everything on a platter, and you're gonna find every excuse to actually absorb yourself from doing the work, or you come in to do the work to make an actual change in your life? That is the caveat. But this is the community we serve. You see, from my wife, by the way, our co-founder, my wife, she was customer number one. She transitioned
Mm.
from being a social scientist, nothing to do with tech. I helped her transition. We started helping people in our family, her brother, cousin, and then it took us 2 years to actually put together a program that we felt was uh, finished, valuable enough to offer to the marketplace. But yeah, we mostly, actually 99% of our students actually never worked in IT and are transitioning. So the answer is yes. You know, it takes a lot, because especially time, because sometimes I see a lot of that. People have the drive, they have the commitment, but they're working two jobs. They
Yeah.
don't have 7 to 10, 7 to 12 hours a week to put into this, because
Yeah.
this is a new world you are about to dive into. You have to allow yourself to allow time to be immersed into this new world.
Yes,
It
sir. Yes,
doesn't
sir.
matter how easy it is or how difficult it is to actually find the money. Yes, you found the money, good. You are excited, you are committed, great. But do you have the time? Do you have the time to dedicate to that? Have you enrolled your family? Have you enrolled your spouse, your friends, and tell them, hey, I'm not gonna be hanging out with you on weekends. In fact, I need some help with the kids on weekends, because I need to dial in. I need to put in the work. This is one thing we see a lot, is people who succeed have the buy-in of their spouse, have the buy-in of their family, of their direct family members. So these are the question I wish they could ask themselves. Really, it's not,
Yeah.
can this work for me or not. It's like usually the question we get is like, oh, this sounds like a miracle. Can this miracle happen for me? No, first
Yes,
of all,
sir.
it's not a miracle. You're gonna get in exactly, not 1 inch more than what you put in. That's the first thing I want to make sure. But if you come in, you commit to the process, you have the buy-in of all your immediate surrounding, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
If you give this thing no chance to work, guess what happens? It has to work. It has no chance but to work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No. This is good information, and as we're coming to the end of this quick information, because I hope you all hear what Juby is saying. Yes, you can do it, and I want to be direct to you watching. If you're tired of the life that you have right now, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you're looking for a change, education is key to making that change. And why not? If you're saying, "Hey, I want to change," why not look into the tech? If you are dialed in, if you're willing to be focused, if you're willing to give, yourself 9 to 12 months to learn a new skill, a new trade, right? And you're ready to really you're ready, excuse my grammar here. You are ready to really dedicate to that. I think you need to give Yellowtail Tech a try. Now listen, I'm going to be straightforward with you. Yellowtail Tech is not a cheap organization. We don't do cheap around here, but they're not the most expensive neither. You're not spending what a 4-year degree would be. Juby, real quick, break down exactly what they will get from Yellowtail Tech with their investment. What does the program look like, and why should they give Yellowtail Tech a try?
Yeah, the first thing we're gonna do is assess if you are the right fit for the program with an assessment, with understanding your situation in life, if you have the time, if you have the proper environment, if it's the right time for you. This is the first
Yeah,
thing we get out the way. We make sure it is the right time. Second, we make sure we start you with the foundational knowledge. We start you with networking, with all the foundational information that everyone should know about IT in general. And then we start stacking up Linux. We start making sure you understand what it is you are trying to offer to the marketplace in terms of value. And after that, after the training, we make sure you get two valuable certification to put on your resume, because uh, the job market, yes, it's always better to have multiple years of experience, but if you lack that, having those certification help. And also, one thing we do is we put you into an apprenticeship. This is where you're gonna be solving project-based tickets, and bringing solutions to an environment, so you can get the hands-on you need to actually be able to show up to an interview and actually deliver. So all these are intentional steps to actually getting there, and we help you along the way. We handhold you all along the way, but we we can't do it for you. You have to show up with the right commitment.
man, listen, I stand behind Yellowtail Tech. They have been a huge blessing to our community. They have a course, not a course, but their class is going to be opening up here soon. We're going to be putting their information inside of today's show notes. If you would love to just give them a call, see if you qualify, click the link in the show notes today. They'll set up a 15-minute interview with you. And here's one thing I love about them. They're not going to take your money just to take your money, because they care more about their success rate than just getting a whole bunch of people inside of their academy here. And so I want y'all to click the link in today's show notes. I promise you, if you get accepted into the program, you're gonna love it. Their teachers, I've met their teachers, top of the line. And y'all success rate is what, I think you said 88%, if I'm not mistaken.
It's actually 68% within 6 months, and 70,
Okay,
76. It varies every year, 76 to 78 within the year.
within a year. And then how many people are getting a job?
Yeah,
What's that
yeah, yeah.
number?
That's how many people are getting a job.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that means if you finish this program, you're more than likely to get a job.
Yes, sir.
You know, and so listen, click the link inside of today's show notes. I promise you, you'll enjoy it. Juby and his amazing staff over there are top of the line. They are killing it in the industry. And I'm just going to say this respectfully. I just love seeing African American people who have a heart to help other African American people really get that income, because your largest wealth building tool is your income. So if you can get your income up, you can build wealth. And I'm gonna help you out with the other thing. Get with Juby, get the money. I help you with everything else.
All right.
Yo, we love you all. God bless you, and we'll see you on the next show. Peace out.